Live at 5, this is 13 News Now.
Temperatures have continued to fall all day, leaving us in the 30s this evening.
And it will continue to get colder tonight. Welcome to 13 News Now at 5. I'm Janet Roach.
And I'm David Allen. We begin with the bitterly cold night that is ahead of us.
Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lawson has the forecast.
Yeah, well, of course, we had the rain earlier. Out there right now, though, it is, as you mentioned, cold. A temperature of 36 degrees feels like the 20s, all because of that northerly breeze, currently at 16 miles per hour. Now, earlier, as I mentioned, we had the clouds, we had the rain. That turned into snow and sleet, but that's long gone. Never amounted to anything of any significance. Now, the big news, the temperatures and actually the wind chill both. Look at these readings. We go from cold 30s, where it feels like the 20s. Next thing you know, we're approaching the upper 20s, and it feels like almost the teens, not far from it. Well, there we go. Look at that change. 7 o'clock then, we were showing 6. Now at 7 o'clock, we will be down into the teens, and the wind chills will continue to fall. Already by 11 o'clock, it will feel like the mid-teens out there, 15 degrees. Some inland areas where it's not quite as breezy, maybe the upper teens, right? In fact, if you're out over the waters of the bay, for example, maybe going across the Bay Bridge Tunnel, it's going to be even colder than that, with actual air temperatures already down into the mid-20s by midnight. After that, believe it or not, we are talking about a bit of a warm-up, at least for part of the weekend. With that comes a chance of rain, though, and that's what we'll be discussing coming up.
And you can track the temperatures no matter where you are. Download the 13 News Now app for your smartphone or tablet. The weather section will show you current temperatures and the outlook for the next few days.
Developing now, a child death investigation is underway.
Little boy was just 1 year old. The Matthews County Sheriff's Office says emergency crews got a call about a boy who was face down in a tub yesterday. This happened on John Clayton Memorial Highway.
13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens has the story.
It was this home where that 1-year-old boy died here in Matthews. I spoke to the child's mother. She didn't want to go on camera. She didn't have much to say, actually. Here in this community, everybody is stunned.
Sad.
Shock here in Matthews County.
A whole bunch of cars. I didn't know what was going on.
A 1-year-old is dead. Sheriff's officials say the mother left her child alone in the bathtub Thursday afternoon. When she came back, the hot water was running and her child's face was face down in the tub. Hillary Kemp lives a few doors down.
You can't go through what they're going through because you don't know. You don't have the same pain that they do because it's their family member.
Officials say the hot water injured the child. Patricia Griffin's daughter lives next door, but Griffin says she met the mother before.
No, I didn't know her family, but she came over to the house one time to use my cell phone. But no, they seem to take care of the kids.
Deputies have not made any arrest. Kemp is still at a loss for words.
Sad. I just can't imagine how the family feels.
A community remains stunned as the investigation grows. In Matthews, Nico Clemens, 13 News Now.
We now know the charges against the man shot by Hampton police. Mark Harrison is now charged with attempted maiming. Officers say the 36-year-old from Newport News ran at them with a large knife when they responded to a report of an attempted burglary yesterday on Jacqueline Circle. Police opened fire when they say Harrison didn't stop. He's still in the hospital tonight, but his injuries are now considered non-life-threatening.
A Virginia Beach man will serve 20 days in jail for recording a police officer who was using the restroom, but he still has other cases pending as well. Aloysius Albritton was convicted of unlawful filming after an incident in a Virginia Beach Wawa, but his lawyer says they're working on an appeal. Albritton is also accused of sexual battery for allegedly attacking a man in a locker room at a rec center. That case will now go to a grand jury.
Family of a Portsmouth man who died in a jail cell toilet is the latest to sue Hampton Roads Regional Jail for wrongful death. A lawsuit filed just this week says medical staff neglected medical treatment that would have kept him alive. Our Stephen Graves explains.
Yeah, David, that lawsuit says 69-year-old William Thrower was only supposed to be in jail for a year on a failure to appear conviction. Now, medical records show he allegedly asked for emergency assistance multiple times, but never got what he needed. February 2016, the pain started for 69-year-old Hampton Roads Regional Jail inmate William Thrower. A handwritten emergency grievance was filed, complaints of severe stomach pain. "Please help me," a newly filed lawsuit says he told jail staff, but it says care went unmet. It was determined by staff to, quote, not be an emergency. But later in March, 3 more alerts on worse pain, even trouble sleeping. This one was on the 20th, documented on a jail computer. Here he's asking for a doctor after not being able to use the restroom for 5 days. Documents say again he wasn't seen by staff, and later that day he was found dead on a toilet. An autopsy saying gallstone pancreatitis, a usually non-lethal disease if treated, was the cause. Thrower's family is suing jail staff and the medical care provider Correct Care Solutions. The family found the records after his death and claimed staff didn't respond appropriately. Thrower's family attorney is also representing 2 other families of inmates who allegedly also died of medical neglect around the same time. Tonight, the current superintendent is responding. He says change is already in place, no longer requiring inmates to submit paper emergency requests.
That's leaving it too much to the officer that they have to file it and then they have to give it to someone else. Now we just go directly to the source and let medical get involved much earlier.
Now, the family is suing for $13.5 million. Myers says the jail is investigating. I'll have more on what the Thrower family attorney had to say about all this coming up on 13 News Now at 6. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
And is recovering tonight after a shooting in Portsmouth. Now police are looking for the gunman. This was the scene on Truxton Avenue late last night. That's where officers found the victim. We are still waiting to hear what may have led to the shooting, but anyone who may know anything about this should call the crime line.
Now to the growing concerns over the flu epidemic. The virus continues to spread, and now a local assisted living facility is on alert.
Staff in Chesapeake is doing everything it can to protect elderly residents. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin is live to explain.
Well, David, Janet, we were told by the regional resident vice president at the Commonwealth Senior Living Facility here in Chesapeake that 11 seniors here currently have the flu for right now. And it's just part of the nationwide epidemic that's affecting many of all ages. There's a warning sign on the front door at this Commonwealth Senior Living Facility.
We love for our residents to have visitors and family members and guests come in, but in a time like this, we do ask them to limit visits.
That's because some seniors living here have the flu.
Just so that we can make sure that our community remains healthy.
The Senior Living Center spokeswoman says they're cleaning everything now.
So we do immediate treatment, we do increased infection control, making sure that we're using the correct bleach concentration for all hard surfaces to make sure that they're clean and disinfected.
It's bad. It's widespread.
Lisa Ingalls, a Chesapeake Health Department epidemiologist. She says there are 3 strains of the flu this year.
The H3N2 is problematic for the young and the elderly.
The CDC says they've had 53 flu-related pediatric deaths. Now the oldest age group is feeling the effects too.
This year we are seeing more outbreaks associated with those facilities. So the one recommendation I want to make right now is to tell everybody not to visit.
Ingle warns as much as family loves seeing their grandparents, right now is not the right time.
Especially if you have any kind of symptoms, because they pick it up very easily.
And as you saw, we just saw emergency crews pull up here. We were told by the facility that they are keeping those residents who do have the flu inside their rooms for right now. Of course, stay with us for 13 News Now at 6 o'clock. We'll tell you how long you have to get the flu shot still. Reporting live in Chesapeake, I'm Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
The bad flu season has inspired the state health department to reach out to try and raise awareness.
People need to get vaccinated. They need to practice good hygiene. Stay home from school and work if you're sick with the flu, and talk to your health provider early and get the appropriate treatment. I think if we all do that, we can get through this flu season.
That message was posted on the Virginia Health Department Facebook page this morning.